Aloha, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, gymnastics fans and followers from all over the world. I am Breeze Olson here in Santa Cruz, California, and I'm joining you today for this beautiful day and life that we have. And I am going to be talking about a couple of things today that are super important to me, of course. Gymnastics, college gymnastics specifically. I see already I have a few people joining us here, Josh and wow, these are going so fast I can't even see it. Zach, a couple of others, William, thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. All right, well, let me give you a quick little rundown of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this weekend's competition. We got a great meet coming up this weekend on the GymACT World, so don't miss that. We're going to talk about the calendar for the rest of the season, a couple of the most important meets for the rest of the year, so both for GymACT and NCAA, so check in with that one. And lastly, but not least, and most importantly, in fact, we're going to be talking to Dan Young, who is one of the founders of Fantasy Gymnastics League, FGL, and stay tuned for that. So as soon as I can figure out how to work this thing, I'm going to bring Dan in. But first, let me just give you a couple of rundowns. So this weekend, you guys are in for a treat because we have the East Coast connection, the rivalry between Temple and New York Alliance, age-old rivals. These guys are going to be going head-to-head with one another at Temple. They're going to be hosting the meet, and it's going to be tomorrow, Saturday, and I want to say the right information, so let me make sure I'm looking at it. Saturday the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll keep you posted as to where this can be maybe webcast, so you can check it out on live and in color, of course. Thanks for joining us, guys. Everyone here, awesome. Yeah, Dan, I'm going to let you in just a second. In fact, let me pull you in so that we make sure that we have things working correctly. And I'll keep talking slowly while this is going on. I'm inviting Dan in, and you'll be here in a moment. So tomorrow, Saturday, the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be the Temple versus New York Alliance competition. Stay tuned for that. All right, Dan Young, thanks for being here with me, brother. I'm going to address you in just a second. Let me just give another couple of updates on the college gymnastics world for the folks who are joining us here. Thanks for coming in, everybody. So as promised, anyways, I got to talk to you about a couple of things that happens in GymACT. We have some options for these guys to compete across the country in multiple platforms. And they also have the opportunity to go to different kinds of national championships. As you know, there are different organizations that take care of things. USA Gymnastics is the main national governing body of gymnastics. So they have their collegiate national championships. That happens in March. And I'll tell you exactly, on the 26th of March at Navy is going to be the exciting competition for the USA Gymnastics collegiate national championships. And the varsity teams are going to be there, as well as some of the GymACT teams represented. More to come on that. GymACT also has its own national championships. So exciting. This is going to be the second year in a row where we're going to do this. And it's held in conjunction with the USA Gymnastics Developmental Nationals. And that this year is going to be in Arizona, and on the 14th of May. So all those of you who are going to go to national championships for the USA Gymnastics, for the juniors, or developmental as they call it now, you have an opportunity to see the incredibly exciting session of the GymACT teams competition. And oh man, it's going to be awesome. The teams this year are just fired up for this competition. And also there is an option to go to the NAIGC national competition, which is the national collegiate clubs teams, right? And they have their own nationals. It's a huge event, literally thousands of athletes competing, and almost anybody can actually go to that competition as long as you sign up and you are ready to compete safely. So check out naigc.com or look up NAIGC. I'm sorry if I don't know the actual address. I'm sure that's a .org in there somewhere. But they'll have the information on their national championships, and that's also an option for the collegiate athletes to compete. So, but today let's focus on what we're here to talk about. And Dan Young, you're joining me. Thank you for being here, first of all, brother. My newly found bi-coastal gymnastics brother. I'm so excited because I finally found someone who is just as enthusiastic, nay, more enthusiastic than I am about what they do and passionate about gymnastics. And I can't wait to have this conversation talking about your incredible platform, your product that you guys came up with. So first of all, Dan, welcome. Where are you in the world right now?
I'm in New England, Region 6, Boston.
All right.
Just outside of Boston. So about 3,000 miles away in terms of the way the crows fly, but like just next to you, just on the screen below you in terms of Zoom and technology and the way that gymnastics is going. So it's nice to be here. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. So I invited you today because I want to talk to you about FGL, so Fantasy Gymnastics League. And we have a strong connection with that FGL this year. GymACT is collaborating with you guys. You're providing us a wonderful opportunity. We'll talk more about that. But give me a quick little rundown. What is FGL? What does that mean?
Fantasy Gymnastics League is an opportunity for kids to compete pretty much any day. They can compete in their own gym. It's a submission style competition where the kids are able to submit a number of videos each week for a long period of time so that we can get some data collected. They can compete at home. They can submit videos from practice or from a competition. Doesn't matter. The judges are consistent and selected by the FGL so that the kids get valid and reliable and objective stats. And I think it's the way of the future.
That's awesome. I'm excited about this because you mentioned this a long period of time. And this year, let's be specific. This year, this season, if you will, you guys opened it up for about, I think it's 12 weeks. Is that correct? So people can sign up for this service, and then they can submit routines every week for 12 weeks to get judged by nationally certified judges for most of the levels, as I understand it. And how many can they submit more than one routine per week, or is it once per week? How does that work out? Give me a little bit of the logistics of how the kids can participate.
Well, the boys get 6 submissions per week and the girls get 4. So they can submit on any event. They could submit 6 pommel horse routines if they wanted to, or they could get an all-around score. They can submit on their own device. Their coach can submit for them. Their parent can submit on their behalf, or they could submit. They submit any day from Monday through Saturday evening, and then the scores are judged throughout the week. So if you submit a video, say on Monday or Tuesday, you should get the feedback pretty quick. And not only are they given the score and the start value, but the judges are also giving comments. So you can use those comments if you get the videos back like Wednesday or Thursday and you have a competition on Sunday. You can use the comments to better your routines and prepare for your competitions. So
that's a powerful tool for young athletes and for the coaches too, to get the kids fired up about getting their routines analyzed by someone other than the coach, which is usually what happens in my case, right? I'm watching my guys and I'm giving them feedback. I'm judging the routines, but now they get to submit the routines to this platform and see how they fare against others, number one, on a weekly basis. And they get to also see their own progress, which is the most important part. And they get fired up about it. We were talking about this yesterday and how amazing that the kids want to do more routines because they want to film that best one. They don't want to show a sloppy one. And they want to see the best routine possible. And the best routine possible next week is even better and just continues to improve that way. And then you have the data across a long period of time that has the backing of these judges, not just, your coach talking to you all the time because it goes in one ear and out the other. These guys get the feedback that is meaningful and useful. And the coaches too can go in there and check out the kids' progressions. That's a really cool thing.
They're also becoming part of their own gymnastics. They're submitting their own videos, so it's a self-report. They're part of their own decision-making in terms of, is this the routine I want to submit? And then if it's not, then they go back and qualitatively analyze the routine with their coach, as opposed to you or me having to judge routine after routine after routine in the gym. It's almost like a surrogate coach, where if you need help, if you need assistance, if you need guidance from somebody outside of your eyes, then the resource is available for you.
And I'll just I know a little bit about it, so you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll just give the quick little rundown. Basically, your team signs up the coach signs up as an account for the program, and then you put your kids who sign up individually with their parents' permission. There has to be a parental control. But then once the kids are signed up and attached to your gym or your coach, then they submit their own routines from their own devices. Is that correct?
We've built it that way. So if the kids wanted to have their own ability to do that, but there are kids who are in level 3 and level 4 who cannot do that. So we also built in the function that the coach can submit videos for the athlete and the parent can also submit videos for the athlete as well.
That's awesome.
For me, the design though is instead of telling the kids to put away their phones and put away their earbuds that we're both using, to charge them up, to take them out and to use them as a tool as opposed to, use it as a hindrance. So
wait. Are you telling me that you're actually allowing your kids to use their cell phones in the middle of workouts? That's ludicrous.
Not only that, but I let them use their earbuds as well.
That's awesome.
It sets up what it does is
how
you
excited
give
do they get, right? I mean, suddenly you're giving them the tool that they love to use, and you're saying, put these things together, your gymnastics and your phone, and you get it done, and you set these routines, and they're looking at it, and they're getting the feedback almost immediately. It's fantastic.
I also find that they're less distracted because if they have their earbuds in, they're only focused on their routines and videoing, and they're not talking to their friends because they're just like, so you give them a little like a pit block, and they balance their phone against the pit block, and they have their earbuds, and I say, just do routines, and it's almost like they have their own cubicle. Like, no pun intended, but they have their own, like, they're separated off in their own mind, and all of a sudden later they did 8 parallel bar routines, and they're like, which one is the best? And it's just, right. It's a different type of motivation.
And now as a coach too, you're catching on to what they feel is important to them, right? Because why are they choosing those routines versus others? Because there's subtle differences, and sometimes what you think as a coach it's important to the kids, suddenly they're like, well, you know what? That one L was a little lower. And you're like, wow, he's really paying attention to that one skill. We can help him with that a little bit more because now that skill, that skill is important to them specifically. So that's another great tool for you to help the kids help themselves. I love that. I'm going to point out that I pinned the information about your company here, and I'll just say it out loud because it's important. So if you're on the interwebs, go to fantasygymleague.com, and you made it easy for us, and you created your Instagram handle and your Facebook handles are both the same as Fantasy Gym League. So folks, follow, like, whatever, volunteer, do the whole thing, and go see these guys because they're amazing. The product is I'm excited about it. And now let's go ahead and move forward to why we're here. This is the GymACT account. So let's talk about GymACT. Now, I mentioned that GymACT has all the athletes we have 14 teams across the country. Thanks for those of you who have been following us all along in our growth from literally a handful of teams just 5 years ago, and now we have 14 teams across the country, and it keeps growing and becoming a bigger and better entity and a force of gymnastics, and we love this. We're excited because we get to compete against the varsity NCAA Division I, Division III teams. That's phenomenal. We have that the ability, the platform, that the capability of competing against these teams, and it's fantastic, including the national championships in March at Navy. So check that out. Now, and here's the thing: the national championships in March. It's a USA Gymnastics Collegiate Championships. What happens there is this: there are going to be already confirmed 4 varsity teams that are going to be there. And then there are, as you know, gymnastics has 6 events. The 2 open events are going to be filled by none other than GymACT. I'm going to call them all-star teams. That's right, I'm saying it. So on each event, we're going to have the top 5 guys from the East Conference of GymACT and the top 5 guys from the West Conference of GymACT. They're going to make up these extra rotations at the National Collegiate Championships. So they're going to be competing against the varsity guys for the accolades of individual event winners. Now, if someone is good enough to qualify on all 6 events, that guy actually will be eligible for the all around competition. But you got to earn your spot top 5 on the East or top 5 in the West to be one of those all-arounders. Now, we ran into a snatch, right? How do we qualify these guys to this competition? How do we make a guy from Temple and Kansas City United and New York Alliance? We got guys in Southern California. These guys, how do we compete all these guys under one roof to try to qualify them to national championships? These teams are self-funded. They don't have the time or the budget to go to all these extra competitions to get these guys to qualify for competition. So we piggybacked on what we did last year, which was to allow for the virtual competitions to happen, for the submission routines to happen. Last year, we did a whole bunch of events with my good friend Robert Davis from Virtual Stars Gymnastics. A couple of the teams did some competitions with Vertius, with Amber Young, and a couple other guys from Stanford. They do a phenomenal job. And also available was this option of the Fantasy Gymnastics League, which I don't know if we've actually had any GymACT meets last year, but we were definitely in collaboration trying to get things going with the Zoom meets, and we exchanged some ideas on what the best process was for things to run smoothly. So I appreciated your help last year with helping us get things off the ground, man. So what we did this year was this. We hooked up with Fantasy Gymnastics League, and we created basically our own little GymACT season, right? For specifically with the purpose of qualifying to national championships. So follow along for a second here. We have FGL has 12 weeks that the kids can submit their routines, right? So we talked to you and we talked to Lou. Thank you, Lou Datilio from Arizona these days, about how do we maneuver the system that you already have working so well for the juniors and make it fit our needs this year for GymACT. And oh my goodness, long and behold, you guys put in the time, you put in the energy, and you created a system for us that has been working already. So man, I'm excited. So here's what it works, is that we have 3 submission deadlines, right, for the year. And I'm looking at it right here. The first submission already passed. That was February 12th. So anyone who wanted to be eligible for these competitions, for the competition national championships, had to submit 1 routine by the 12th of February to be judged by the judges from FGL. Long and behold, boom. Dan, help me out. How many routines were submitted to you guys for that first round that you know? Rough count.
I mean, at least 74 athletes and about 215 routines.
215 routines are, fighting for those coveted spots of the top 5 on each event for national championships. That's phenomenal. So I'm excited because this gives these guys, now they're in Southern California, they're in Arizona, they're in Washington, they're in New York, they're in Illinois. We got they're Minnesota. We got guys from Iowa. We got guys from Kansas City United. We got guys from Georgia United. Man, I'm going to be forgetting one. I'm going to get it later. UIC, 14 teams across the country. These guys get to go and submit their routines and try to qualify for the all-star teams for their conference. And that's exciting, right? So the first period has already ended. The second period is going to go up through February 26th. So they have to submit another set of routines between now and then. And then the third and final submission period is March 5th. Just a few weeks before competition. So I understand that as soon as that last routine is entered by midnight Eastern time on March 5th, a couple of days later, the judges will have entered their scores, their analysis, their comments on these routines, and the coaches can take this information. GymACT will take this information and formulate the all-star teams, that the representatives that are going to go to national championships. So Dan, do I have this more or less straight? I mean, I'm getting excited. I'm going to shut up and let you talk a little bit.
I mean, I think that sounds pretty perfect. I also want to say that, we still have about 8 weeks left in the season, and states and regionals are coming up for the USAG guys. It's also an opportunity for any level 9 or level 10 to join FGL, submit videos, and then the GymACT can see their videos. Also, I have a kid from my gym who wants to go to one of the GymACT teams. So I have him watch the GymACT videos and see what skills he's going to need to accomplish prior to, submitting his application. So it's a give and take. It's a symbiont relationship really between GymACT and USA, the boys. Not only that, but last year as a 45-year-old guy, I competed in the JD program and I won pommel horse. But that just means a retired gymnast doesn't have to be retired anymore. An old gymnast doesn't have to be under a USAG. You could do it in your backyard if you wanted. We also opened it up to all the women's gymnastics and NGA, USAG, and the women routines are going to be judged by the My Gym judge and Nicole Langevin and Chelsea Memmel's group. The NGA athletes can also compete. And I think that as long as gymnastics keeps moving forward and has the opportunity for kids to compete, not only that, but say, for instance, a younger level gymnast is competing with soccer. They can compete for a 12-week season for a pretty low cost and without travel and see whether or not they like the sport. It's just, you're given an opportunity for people from Maine and Alaska and Honolulu to now be part of a community and to compete and to have judges that are consistent. And I just think it's it's something that's a pleasure to be able to work with you and the people around the country. So it's really exciting. I appreciate that you're reaching out to me and giving us a little bit of support, but
You know,
I'm only going to move forward from here. I'm only going to make it better from here. So
awesome. Yeah, well, I'm excited because yes, it is a product that I endorse. There you go. I'll say it personally as a coach. I think it's fantastic. You mentioned that as the coaches and athletes subscribe or register for the service, they then choose which category they're competing, whether they're USA Gymnastics levels 1 through 10, if they are junior FIG. There's an option for, if I remember correctly, an option for FIG in there. There's the GymACT option is in there for the GymACT guys. So there are all of these. Where are you in this? In what level are you literally of competitiveness, and where do you want to challenge yourself? Between you and your coaches will make these decisions and set it up in the way that you are then basically there's a quantitative measurement of where your gymnastics is in relationship to others across the country, across the world, really. And that's a phenomenal tool to have. So I'm excited about it because it is a useful tool for personal measurement of quality of gymnastics, and then also for personal growth, right? At whatever level you are. You as a 45-year-old competed last year, you can do it again, and you can see how you do this year compared to last year, right? And you can add another event or change events, right? It doesn't matter. So
I'm done competing. I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
we
it.
all say that, and then it's like, you know what, my knees feel pretty good today. I can tumble, and then the next day we pay the price. And then again, one more shout out for this system being used this year within the scope of the needs of GymACT. So thank you guys for accommodating that. I know that there is some strong discussions going on as to how do we move this thing forward in the future, and I'm proud and happy to be part of these conversations. We're making progress happen here so that we can encompass a wider gamut, more potential, more opportunities for guys to compete from their own corners of the world and to see where they stand, right? And say an athlete that is a level 9 or level 10 is trying to say, hey, how is my gymnastics compared to one of these guys in the gymnastics world? They get to see that. They get to see right there in writing. The coaches the college coaches get to go and see these athletes and their performance and the growth. We get to follow along the period of time for not just one season but multiple seasons if they're in there. So what a phenomenal tool for us as a coach to say, hey, this guy looked pretty scrappy there on pommel horse for a couple of years, but look at how he's improved, and these numbers keep going up. The data doesn't lie, right? So that's a fantastic thing for kids to have as a recruiting tool, as a personal growth tool, and just overall enjoyment, right? How much fun it is for you to do your own thing, to film yourself, to put it out there, and to see the results and to see the comparison that you have from earlier in the year until now. Everyone likes to see how much better they are getting, right? It's a fun thing to do. So thanks for creating this tool that allows that to happen.
My pleasure.
So I think that's all I need to say. We're going to let people go with the end of their Friday for the rest of their Friday here. We closing up on a half an hour. Try to keep these under 30 minutes. I already spoke enough. Anything you'd like to say? Give you the floor for a little plug for yourself if you want, and otherwise.
I would say the best of luck to the GymACT guys who are submitting videos this coming week. Gymnastics is one of the most wonderful sports, and I'll keep trying to work hard for you, Breeze, and make it so that gymnastics can move forward for the next 10 years. I think it's a video game. It's a gymnastics. You got to make the kids play a game, and I think it's fun. The guys like it. It's motivating, and I'll do whatever I can to help you guys.
Thank you so much. I just want to go and say thank you, Dan. I want to say a quick shout out to some of my buddies here. We got Aiden, we got Aaron, we got Ken. Love you, man. We got Deke, we got Louise, we got so many people here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today and for watching this, even for just a couple minutes. I really appreciate you staying involved and excited about gymnastics. It has been my life, my entire life, and Dan, I can see it is yours, and it will continue to be for a long, long time. Gymnastics is amazing. Thank you to everyone who's out there really working hard, putting in the day and the time and the energy and the sweat, blood, and tears. All of us who are trying to come up with these systems that are outside of the norm, if you will. I mentioned, Virtual Stars. I mentioned Vertius. There's also STS, Doug Hills. Love you, man, for everything that you've done and everything that you continue to do for the sport of gymnastics. I got to give it a shout out to all of these people who make this world of gymnastics go around, and we're all brothers in this. We're all working together. Dan, you and I, we could be seen as competitors because I work with primarily Virtual Stars, but you're doing your own product there. But it's not a competition. It's about how do we provide the best service, the best product, the best opportunity for these guys to be able to pursue their passion, which is the sport of gymnastics, right? And thank you for coming along here, man, and talking to me about this. And again, we're just going to keep moving forward because that's the only direction we know how to go. Good luck this weekend to Temple and New York Alliance. You guys rock the house over there. Temple is the house for that. Later in the year, stay tuned for National Collegiate Championships at Navy at Annapolis, Maryland, and then later down the line, we're going to have the GymACT National Championships along with the developmental nationals in May. Between now and then, we'll keep you posted of what's going on each week. Stay tuned. Check out our YouTube channel where Aiden Whitehead has been doing a phenomenal job at analyzing the stats week to week. Love that we have this new blood, new energy coming through here with that. What else do we have? And we got newsletters going out. One last thing before I say goodbye is sophomores and juniors. You got a couple more days before the deadline. Not the deadline, but the early enrollment, if you will, for the gymnastics summer camp. That's right. We have the college-bound summer camp that's going to be taking place, second annual, in Colorado Springs. No, excuse me, in Boulder, Colorado, at extreme altitude. And what an awesome thing that was last year. We had 80 guys, high school athletes working out together. We had coaches from all of the GymACT teams who were represented there. And this year we're looking for at least one coach representative from each of the 14 teams to be there. So you want to be seen, you want to be exposed, you want to train and get excited about gymnastics. The college bound camp is where you want to go. And that's for all high school athletes that are interested. So lastly, Dan Young, thank you so much for being here with us. Fantasy Gymnastics League, or Fantasy Gym League, is their website, their handle on Instagram and Facebook. Go check them out, follow, reply, be engaged, be happy. This is Breeze Olson checking out from Santa Cruz, California. Aloha.
Aloha, mahalo.